Jay Kelly is a famous and celebrated actor. Now he is doing the last shot of a dramatic movie. After that, he gives his heartfelt gratitude to the entire crew. Now he's going to his luxurious cabin. His manager follows him, constantly reminding him of his busy schedule. The manager takes his yes or no for all his upcoming events.
Before we dive deep into the movie, I just want to say, please make sure to watch until the end. I'm a brand new YouTuber, and your support means the world to me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if something feels off, just drop a comment and let me know what I can improve. Thank you so much. And now, let's get back to the movie.
When he enters the room, he sees a slice of creamy cheesecake. He asks why there is a cheesecake every time he arrives. Further, he says, "No cheesecake, never cheesecake." The manager keeps reminding him of his schedule, and Jay keeps ignoring his opinion. He mentions about Antonio from the Tuscan Arts Festival, who needs an answer about the tribute. Jay keeps saying no, and he shuts the door and feels the heavy silence. Jay's talking with his daughter Daisy. She says she is going to Europe with her friends Moses and Rio. Jay asks about the dinner. She says she has no intention of having dinner with him. Jay says, "Go, be with your friends." She talks again about going to Europe with Rio and Moses. She is going to Paris on Saturday and then to Tuscany. Jay is surprised and says it's too soon. Jay says he has 2 weeks off to hang out and that this is her last summer with Jay. She says that's exactly why she needs to be with her friends. Jay asks to join them, but she says they are taking a train, going to a jazz festival, and doing things in Paris that he cannot do because he's a celebrity. But Jay says he still has muscle memory and doesn't mind. But she leaves. Then Ron, the manager, arrives. Daisy says hi to Ron and leaves. Ron says Peter Schneider has died. He came to say that. Jay is deeply upset about the news. The director was the one who once took a chance on Jay. Jay remembers the last moments with Peter. Peter had a declining career, and he asked Jay to attach his name to a new film to help get financing. Jay says he cannot do that. Peter's son delivers the final emotional speech for his father at the funeral. He talks about his dad's career decline and bankruptcy. Peter's son comes to meet Jay and thanks him for coming. He gives Jay a neckerchief. While coming back, Ronnie says he likes the neckerchief. Jay gives it to him. A person calls Jay by name. When he looks, he recognizes his old roommate from acting school. They talk about that time and agree to have a drink at a bar.
They meet at a dimly lit bar. Timothy works as a child therapist. Jay admires his acting skills and tells him to act a little by reading the menu. Tim does that. Suddenly, Timothy says, "I can't stand you. You stole my girlfriend. You stole my life." Then Jay leaves him, refusing to engage. Timothy follows and asks, "Are you a real person?" Timothy says he always had a dream of hitting him and starts punching him. Jay tries to cover himself. Then Ron receives a call while in the middle of a tennis tournament. It's from Jay's publicist, Liz. She says that Jay is dropping out of a movie. Finally, after several heated arguments, Ron has to leave the tournament. Ron arrives at Jay's place. They are arguing about Jay's career and reputation. Then they mention that Jay has a black eye. Ron goes inside. Jay is packing his bags to go to France. Ron asks about the black eye. Jay intends to go after Daisy and meet Rio's crew. He invites Ron to join him, but Ron reminds him about his schedule. Jay says this is the only chance to be with his daughter before she is gone forever. Then they come to the airplane. Liz and Ron are arguing about how Jay got the black eye. Meanwhile, Jay is playing the piano. Their luggage is being onboarded. In the plane, Ron again asks about his black eye. Jay says he will tell him when they get to France. Jay moves away from the crowd. He sees the younger version of himself who was in acting school. He is performing in front of others. The teacher is asking Jay, "Jay, do you want to be a star?" And he explains that acting is lying. In acting, you become someone else. After acting, you play yourself. After Jay, Tim comes to the front and performs. He also performed what Jay was doing. Then they talk about Peter Schneider's audition. Tim has got a chance for the audition. At the audition day, Jay sees a photo of Marlon Brando in a magazine. Jay tears that part and gives it to Tim to eat for good luck. But Tim does not do that. Jay eats it. In the audition, Jay was Tim's supporter. Tim was afraid and he looked at the script when he performed. The auditioners say that's enough and thank him. Jay also asks for a chance to read. He does that part. Peter Schneider sees that and tells him to read another one.
They arrive in France. Meg says Daisy and her friends have bought the tickets for a 10 a.m. train to Italy. They are not doing the jazz festival. They decide to go to Italy by train. Jay's crew is complaining about the train trip. They come to the train station. A lot of people come around Jay to take autographs. Jay talks with them. People are amazed and surprised because famous actor Jay Kelly has joined the train tour with them. Jay Kelly talks with them. People give peanuts to Jay. He also invites them to come to the tribute. Liz asks about the fight with Tim. Jay has broken his nose. Liz says Tim is claiming a case against Jay, saying multiple fractures requiring surgery. Permanent reduction in sense of smell can result in compensation up to $100 million. Jay closes the door of a washroom, glancing at a mirror. He is saying famous actors' names and looking at the mirror. He is seeing the last moments spent with his other daughter, Jessica. He went to meet a therapist named Carter with her. The therapist starts reading the letter written by Jessica when she was 10 years old. Jay tells Jessica to read it, but she says she cannot read it without sobbing. Carter reads the letter dramatically, crying. The letter says Jay does not pay attention or spend time with her. Jay leaves the room. Jessica follows him, saying he doesn't want to spend time with her. Jay leaves. Jay is looking over the train for Daisy. Ron and Liz are following him. Liz complains about Jay's behavior. She says he is acting like an infant. We have to take care of him while our children are at home. Jay sees his daughter sitting on a train with a guy. He is looking at her. Daisy sees him. Jay goes to her. Daisy introduces her father to the guy. The guy with Daisy is Gigi. Gigi says Jay is a hero of cinema. He invites them to his tribute on Saturday to all 5 of them. Daisy asks how he got this train. Jay says he tracked Rio's mother's credit card. Daisy leaves blaming him. Rio calls her mom and blames her. At the next station, Liz and another crew member named Krista get out of the train. Liz gives a letter to Ron for Jay. Ron stops Liz and reminds her about a moment when Ron was going to have a date with Liz. Liz becomes emotional and kisses Ron. Liz leaves. Ron gets on the train again. Ron gets a call from his family. They say his son's leg has swollen. Ron says to him he is going to be okay. Jay is sitting alone where Daisy left him. He remembers what was in Jessica's letter. Jay sees a shoot in which he did a romantic scene with an actress. They had a child in that movie. Jay is remembering it. Jessica mentioned that movie in her letter. Jay comes to Ron. He says he is remembering things. Ron gives Liz's letter to him, saying she left. Jay says he needs to have time with Daisy. Suddenly, a man runs with a handbag passing them. A woman screams. Jay runs after him. The man stops the train and gets out. Jay also gets out and follows. The man runs to a cemetery. Jay follows. People, including Ron, also followed them. Jay catches the guy and gives the bag to the lady. People applaud. Jay tells them to show the man to a doctor. They are in Italy. Jay, Ron, and the security person get off the train. Daisy and her friends get into a bus. Jay says to Daisy to have fun. Ron gives a letter to Jay. It is a statement if Tim goes to the press. A woman comes and says Jay's father is waiting. She came to bring Jay there. The woman gives a cheesecake. The security eats it because Jay gives it. While going there, Ron says to drop him at a restaurant. He says he has a drink with Ben Alcock. Ron gets out of the van. They come to meet Jay's dad. Dad hugs him warmly. He introduces Jay to his flight crew and the organizers of the tribute. People admire Jay's dad. The people ask about Ron. Jay says he will join them at the dinner. They also give him a cheesecake. Ron comes to meet Ben Alcock. Alcock says he is going to go without a manager for a while.
Ron was also Alcock's manager, so Ron talks about his family problems. Ron tries to convince him not to fire him. Ron talks about the emotional moments they had. Alcock also becomes emotional and cries. Ron calls his family and tells this to his wife. Jay is having supper with his father and his friends. Jay gives him the gift he got while coming. One guy sees news about Jay from the phone and starts to share the phone with others. It is about Jay catching the thief on the train. Jay goes to a party with his dad and tribute organizers. Ron is waiting for him. Ron says the case with Timothy has settled. Jay has a call with his lawyer, Alan. Alan says Timothy's past case related to drugs has been found. He's not going to press any charges. But Jay says, he is my friend. Ron says, get back to work. I'm your friend. Jay says, you are my friend who takes 15% of my income, and keeps saying he wants to dance. Ron throws his handkerchief at Jay and leaves. Jay dances. The driving lady comes and says his dad is sick. Jay goes to see him. He is with his doctor in the kitchen. The doctor says he is okay. He had drunk too much and he needs rest. The father says he is going to leave, but Jay says to stay for his tribute. The father gets into the taxi. Jay follows him saying to stay. Jay runs after the taxi. Jay keeps running. 3 cars come after and stop by him. Ben Alcock gets out of the cars with his family and crowd. Ben talks about his separation with Ron. He says Ron is like a father and takes 15% of income. He is like looking after them. Jay asks for a minute and goes away. Ben asks Jay about spare tickets. Jay says he has one and gives them all. Jay goes away and calls Jessica in the middle of a jungle. Jessica also praises his heroic act on the train. He invites her to come to his tribute. He says sorry about the incident with the therapist, but Jessica ignores him. She blames him for not taking care of her. Jay talks about his ambition to be a famous actor, but Jessica refuses his invitation and hangs up. Jay runs through the jungle. Ron goes to leave. Tribute organizing persons come and ask about Jay. Ron says he hasn't seen him since last night. Ron gets into the taxi and leaves. Jay is coming and sees him. Jay runs after the taxi. Ron tells the driver to stop. Ron gets out of the car. Ron says, I cannot work with you anymore. Jay says, come to the tribute as my friend. Ron agrees. Ron does Jay's makeup. Jay sees a slice of cheesecake and eats it. Ben also comes to the tribute. Jay sees the people who were on the train also have come. The screen shows the work of Jay throughout his long career. Jay gets tears. Everyone gets up and applauds.